Hello, my pets. Today, we're diving into the art of focusing on what you can control. Because, darling, trying to control everything is a one-way ticket to Stressville, and we are all about living our best, most fabulous lives. Let's get real here. Life is full of chaos and uncertainty, but there are plenty of things that we can control, and that's where our power lies. So let's explore how to shift our focus to what we can influence and let go of what we can't. First of all, let's go over a few of the uncontrollable things in our lives. Other people's actions and opinions. Let's face it, you can't control how Karen from accounting thinks about your new hair or how your boss handles that project. People will always have their opinions and quirks, so why waste your precious energy on them? These are things we cannot control. The weather. I know, we all know this one, but it bears mentioning because it is a powerful example. No matter how much we wish for eternal moonshine and lots of shade, Mother Nature loves to keep us on our toes. Rain or shine, embrace it. After all, who doesn't love a dramatic rainy day look? The past. Darling, the past is like a bad ex. You can't change it, so stop dwelling from it. Learn from it, but don't let it haunt your present or your future. Future uncertainties. As much as we'd love to peek into a crystal ball and see our future, it's just not happening. Instead, focus on what you can do today to influence and shape that fabulous tomorrow. We can do things to influence it. We just do not have full control over it. Okay, so now let's look at what we can control. In short, that's us. We have control over most things that have to do with us specifically. Number one would be our reactions and attitude. You can't control the storm, but you can dance in the rain. How you react to life's curveballs is entirely up to you. Now, let me get this straight. I am not saying that this is easy by any stretch of the imagination, but we can practice at becoming masters of our emotions and our reactions, work on our attitudes. This does not mean ignoring emotions that come up. It simply means that we learn ways to work with ourselves, to have better control over how we interact with our world. Setting boundaries. Learn to say no without feeling guilty. You've heard the phrase, no is a complete sentence. Well, that's what I'm talking about. Protect your time and energy. Like the treasures they are, it is the most valuable asset we have. If it doesn't bring you joy or serve your goals, it's a no-go. Saying no to something we do not want to do is something we usually have far more control over than we recognize. Now, does this mean you're not going to be there for a friend when they need you, when they've been there for you? No, of course. You want to have certain parameters in place. You want to be there for friends. But if people are constantly asking you to go do things that you don't want to go do, say no. If they are not reciprocating, say no. You need to protect your boundaries. Daily habits. Small, consistent actions lead to big changes. Now, while we do not have full control over everything, I mean, you do and you do not. Yes, you need to go to work because you need to pay the bills, but in actuality, you can choose not to go in. Is that a smart choice? No, but you do have control over it. Things that are a little easier to see that you have control over are things like choosing to go work out, choosing how you eat, choosing if you are spending the evening on a Netflix binge, or if you're using some of that time for self-care and a little extra sleep. These are habits that are very obvious we have more control over. So start looking at all your habits. What are you doing? What do you have control over, and what can you change? Personal growth. you do have control on whether you invest in yourself or not. Now, this kind of ties in with the topics of habits we just talked about, but it's so important I thought we would make it its own thing. Reading books, taking courses, and surrounding yourself with inspiring people, you have the power to shape your mind and skills. And you don't need a ton of time or money for this. You could spend 5 minutes a day and make a shift. You can find free courses, free books at the library. You have the ability for personal growth. You just have to make it a priority. Your environment. Okay, so this is something people may or may not have control over, but it bears a mention. If you have control over where you live, even just your own room, you can create a sanctuary at home. You can declutter, decorate, and make your space a haven that reflects your fabulous self. Depending on your situation, all you may be able to do is keep things clean and maybe hang some art, but that can still make a difference. Take what control you do have over your environment and use it. So we've talked about what you do have control over, and it would be good to take some action on all of those points. But what can you do in the moment when you feel out of control? Well, practice mindfulness magic. Too much uncertainty and stress is found when living in the past or the future. When you find yourself worrying about the uncontrollable, take a deep breath and bring your focus back to the now. Engage all your senses. Look around, smell, hear everything, and revel in the moment. Then, look at what you do have control over in the situation you're in your life right now. And if you cannot think of anything, if you do not feel like you are in control of any points in your life, then just keep focusing on your breath. At least that you have total control over. Remember, my pets, focusing on what you can control isn't just about reducing stress. It's about reclaiming your power and living your best life. So go forth, unleash your inner succubus, and conquer the world with confidence and style. Until next time, stay yummy, my sweet, sweet pets.